Last week, Salim shared with us his early rise in broadcast. And this week, we go into a much detail of his journey in BBC. Welcome back.
Thanks, Edmund.
And karibuni.
Asante sana.
So tell me, in 2003, you set foot in London.
Yes.
And you start working with BBC, your dream almost coming true. Tell me about that moment now, after more than 10 years.
When I first arrived in London.
London working with BBC.
I think it's been brilliant. I've learned quite a lot, and I've done quite a lot. It's a dream come true for me, for any journalist to work for the BBC, and this is because of the history of the Broadcasting Corporation itself, how credible it has been all these years, and how we look at the stories and report without fear, without favor, being impartial. And so the years that I have been with the BBC have been fantastic years of my life. And I started off as a radio presenter and a radio producer. In 2012, we launched our TV, Africa TV, and that we have two programs. We started off with two programs with Focus on Africa in English and Dira ya Dunia in Swahili, and I was, the main presenter, asked to be the main presenter of the Swahili program. So it has been quite an extraordinary experience, and it's just been beautiful.
So what did you picture it to be, and vis-a-vis the actual reality working with BBC?
I think it's just, when you picture something, we all have things in our head, and we think the way we look at life or anything and imagine things. I think it appeared to be the same way that I had imagined it to be, with the reporting, with the professionalism, with the equipment that you have all around you, and that sort of helps you quite a lot to achieve whatever you want to do. And so I think it's just as it is. I mean, I from a very young age, like I said, I had always wanted to work for the BBC, and I just thought they have all these facilities. Good thing about the BBC is they do also offer training all the time, because our profession does change with time sometimes, but the basics are still there, although other things come up now with social media, with digital and all that. So you get constant training.
Earlier on, last week, you spoke about how your mother inspired you to get into broadcast.
Yes.
I want to understand the reaction you get that you have now working with BBC, from your parents, from your friends, and your peers. What was it like?
I think there's a lot of pride. Obviously, my parents are very proud of me. But let's not forget that they gave me the support, all the support they could give. But it's also the drive, the determination that I had inside me, and I said, I want to go places. I want to achieve this. I remember when I had got myself into journalism, I would go and visit my mother, and every time when I left, I would say, Mom, next time I come here, I'll be working for so-and-so organization. So I remember when I was working with a small TV station, went back to see my mom and said, next time I come back, I'll be working with ITV, which is a bigger station. And I did eventually work for ITV, and when I went to visit her, and I said, next time I come here, I'll be working for the BBC. And well, she believed me because I did believe in myself, and although sometimes you just say these things and thinking, maybe it's daydreaming, but I think it's that sheer determination that you have inside you, and just think, I want to do this and I want to achieve this. It gives you that drive, So I did have, of course, in my head that there's a shelf where I did put all the BBC stuff. So while I was still working with ITV and all other organizations, I had that special shelf for the BBC, knowing that one day I'm gonna go there. And when the chance opportunity came, I was ready. You know, I just got that job just like that.
Share with us some of the key highlights of your career today.
Well, I think there's so many. There's so many.
The one that really gives you that much pride.
I think it's connecting with people. It's giving the information. It's giving the right information to the people who really need it. You know, that is, in essence, is something that we are supposed to be doing. And for me, doing that is something that makes me feel that I am playing a part in my life, in my career, to work for the people and giving what the people need, and probably giving the people what they need, what they can't get anywhere else. You know.
You're a journalist.
Yes.
You have a show on TV, you work with the radio. How do you balance your work with family? It has been crazy, to be quite honest. And recently I have stopped doing radio, doing football commentary. Because my wife was complaining. It's not like I really wanted to. But yeah, I used to work 7 days a week, you know, till Monday to Friday, work on TV, and Saturdays and Sundays I do Premier League football, so I was never home, you know. I know you've just said you quit recently football commentating.
Yes, I just stopped.
Yes, you just
for a while.
Recently,
I might go back. I'm going to have to convince my wife.
I want to ask you, when you're doing this commentary, I certainly know you have a team you support. Do you?
I do have a team that I support. I cannot tell you, and this is for professional reasons, because I mean the audience, once they find out which team you support, whatever you do, they will just think that you're not being fair, you know. But we're professionals, you know. No matter what team you support, you have to be very objective, you know. And I have people who write to me and say, we know you are an Arsenal supporter, or people write to me and say, we know you support Chelsea or you support Man United. We could hear from the voice. But that's like, you know, people guessing, you know. But once the kickoff whistle goes off, you just get into that zone, you know what I mean? And nothing else matters. You just look at the football, enjoy the football, no matter who is playing, and you know, just enjoy the commentary.
Let's just try it one more time. Give it to us. Give it to us. Just give it to us.
All right. Haya, mpira unapigwa pale kutoka katikati ya uwanja. Diego Costa anachukua mpira ule, anageuka maridadi kabisa, piga chenga ya kwanza, ya pili, ya tatu, anatokea pale Oscar naye anakwenda kushoto, ule piga kona, mpira kwenda nje, inakuwa ni kona inakwenda kupigwa sasa na Alexis Sanchez. Dakika ni ya 39, kipindi hiki ni cha kwanza, Arsenal moja. Something like that. It's difficult because you don't actually see.
Yes. Of these working in the broadcast media, share with me your low highlights.
I think it's meeting people, you know, from traders in Dar es Salaam to presidents, you know, and sharing, getting to speak to them and sharing their stories is something that has got me going. I cannot honestly pinpoint any particular story, to be quite honest, but I think it's that getting to speak to people and you know, bringing something different to the market, you know, in terms of the way we report about, for instance, the continent, coming up with brilliant business stories. There's a lot of talent on the continent, with brilliant ideas, and when we report about that, technology, arts, entertainment, there's a wealth of talent on the continent, and working for Africa TV, that gives us a platform to show the world what Africa has to offer.
There is a way you deliver your news and stories in a human style. In a second, is just that your personality? Is that the way you deliver it personally, or it's the way you are set to do it?
I don't know. I think I'm just being myself, really. But of course, with the training that I've got, I think it's just being myself, to be quite honest, and try to make the audience, the listener, whoever is watching you, that you are my mate. Do you know what I mean?
Hold it over there. And when we come back from that break, we shall continue with the conversation. Thank you for staying tuned to 30 Minutes with Edmond Safali, and I'm still speaking to Salim Kikeke. Salim, how impactful is Dira ya Dunia to Swahili viewers, and actually in Africa in general, really?
It's a new product. It's brilliant. It's been well received. Started in 2012 in August, and it surprised me as well. I mean, the way the response we got out of it. I personally won 2 awards because of that show. It's the way it's been set up. It's the way we present the program. It's the content that is on the show is something that you can't get it anywhere else. So we do try to report and deliver stories in quite a different perspective to make sure that people understand what is going on around the world, but also around the region, even around the country they're in.
And you're a news personality with over 1.7 million followers.
On Facebook?
On Facebook,
yes.
Alone?
Yes.
How do you do it? I know I have a very bad Kiswahili, but fanya aje. In Luganda we say, ochikolotia.
I don't know. I don't know. I think like many other personalities, when you are in the limelight, people would want to find out more about you, and they would obviously Google you, and the offerings would be Facebook and Twitter, and people would follow. But I think I try to engage with my audience very much. I try to, if there's any story I need to share with them, I do that quite a lot. Lots of sports stories as well I share with the audience, and try. It's not very easy. I do get over 100 messages a day on my inbox, and I try to go through each and every one of them, and sometimes you just get nice comments, people saying about what you do and the good work that you're doing, but sometimes you get a tip of a story that you can follow it up, and sometimes you get people asking very genuine questions, and you have to sort of respond, and that keeps people engaged.
Tell me about your family.
I am married, yes. I'm married. I have 2 children. I have a teenage daughter that from different relationship, but I have a young son with my wife. The baby is 10 months old. Ooh. Now, yeah. So he has been keeping me awake quite a lot recently. So when you see me on TV, I look a bit tired. It's not me. It's the young boy. But yeah, it's good. It's good. It's quite different in the UK, having a small baby. In Africa, we always have cousins and sisters and aunties and uncles who will come in and help you out with the baby, but in the UK it's just me and my wife, you know, and
You have to share responsibility.
we have to, yes, and so we have our patterns. I look after the baby from 6 o'clock in the morning until 1 o'clock, and I go to work, and then my wife looks after the baby from 5 till 10 o'clock, till 8 when the baby goes to sleep, and you know, and from 1 to 5 the baby would go into prep school, you know, sort of. So it's not easy, you know. It's good.
You have met so many people, done so many interviews, numerous personalities. Which one of them do you feel brought out the best story for you?
I think I remember there's so many interviews, like you pointed out, but I did do an interview with this blind tailor in Tanzania. He can't see, but he is a wonderful tailor, you know. And it was just amazing. And I was wondering, how do you get a thread into a needle, you know, and you can't see, you know, but he has his own ways. And I think that is very, very inspiring, because I mean, if you look at that person and you think, so many people who have gone blind, or people born blind, and you know, just look at themselves and think, I can't do anything. But when you look at the story of this man and you think, okay, he has managed to teach himself how to, he's become a professional tailor, and has a wife and a family, and looks after the family. And to me, that is something that doing that interview, I did feel privileged. But you know, sharing it to our audience, it just shows you that no matter what, if you are determined, you can be anything, you can do anything, you can conquer anything. Nothing can stop anyone who is determined.
So what do you think is the best piece of advice you have ever given, or even ever received?
Giving advice, I think my advice is always work hard, because you know, it takes hard work. Well, the work we do is hard, and you have to work really hard to get to wherever you want to be, and that applies to across every profession. So I think when you believe in yourself, when you believe in what you do, and you know, all dreams are valid. People would come up and say, you know, when you're growing up and you tell your friends that I want to become a pilot or to be whatever, and people will start laughing at you. But when you believe in what you're saying, and it's deep down in your heart, you can achieve it, no matter what comes across as an obstacle. So to me, I think my advice to anyone, really, the way to approach life. Life is not straightforward, obviously, but you have to put a lot of work into it to achieve your dreams. And I know so many young people look at me and think, I just got here out of nowhere, but it's been quite difficult, you know. It has. It hasn't been straightforward, but it put a lot of work, belief, and determination, and not giving up, you know.
Salim, how do you want to be remembered?
You know, I've always said that I was surprised when I go to places and people recognize your face and, you know, treat you like a rock star. And I think, as a journalist, I think people who work in news should, that's my belief, that I'm not celebrities, you know, we're just news people. So I just want to, to be remembered that I played my part in trying to show to the world that Africa is not full of wars, diseases, and poverty, we have so much more. We have so much to offer that is very positive in terms of music, in terms of art, in terms of technology, business. We have everything, and my bit is to try and expose that and show that to the world that this is Africa, and I hope that I'm playing my part to portray that picture, to show that picture to the world that, Africa is good.
What advice would you offer to that young journalist down there somewhere in Africa, Europe, America, since you're celebrated newsroom?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, hard work, determination, belief, those are key, because people in life generally, you would come to a point that you just look and think, I'm just gonna give up, I can't do this. But you have to have that push inside you that tells you all the time that no matter what that comes across and blocks you from doing something, there's always an alternative route to reach to your destination. So if this door is closed, just keep trying other doors. Something will happen.
I think you know this, so I'm going to ask you. You're a very handsome father.
Am I?
With a very beautiful voice on set.
Well, thank you.
And with this numerous number of followers on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, how do you relate with these female fans who would want to get a piece of you?
Maybe I should ask you, how do you deal with that? You're a celebrity here.
No. I'm speaking to celebrity music reporter.
No, of course. I mean, once you are in the limelight, you do come across things like that. But I make it clear that I'm a married man, and as long as it's open and you just do it professionally, and just tell people the truth, and everything should be all right. And people do surprisingly understand. They do understand, But you will always get that once you are, like I said, in the limelight. You will always get comments, suggestive comments, and just be nice, and I just be nice and tell them that I'm sorry,
Very taken.
I am taken.
Salim Kikeke, your parting thoughts.
I think I've said everything, just really, Edmund. I think I would say that all dreams are valid, and that from my own experience, I had this dream that one day I will work for a big news organization. It was difficult when I was thinking about it, it just felt impossible. I've come to find out that it's not impossible. It's not impossible. It can be achieved, and just needs a lot of work. It's hard work, and you need to work really hard.
Thank you very much, Salim.
Edwin, thank you so much for having me.
And enjoy the Pearl of Africa.
Thank you very much.
You have heard Salim's story. It's a beautiful story with a good, happy ending. It's not yet ended, but still on that journey. So what he's telling us that with your dream, with your passion, with your determination, it can happen. My $1 million question is, what are you dreaming about? What's your action? What's your goal? And if you can get that, you'll make it happen. Your coach, Edmond Safani.